Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back. I am so excited today because this video is unlike anything I've ever done before. We are going to be testing out Dollar Tree makeup. I know this is obviously not a new concept, but I have not really ever done anything like this on my channel before. So yeah, I'm so excited. I'm gonna go ahead and do my brows really quick and then I will be right back to get into the rest of the video. Okay, so the brows are on, so now we can get into the nitty-gritty of this Dollar Tree makeup. So I just want to preface this by saying that if anything I'm not using is not from the dollar store, I'm using my go-to products because I really want to give this makeup the best chance of being successful. So that being said, the first thing I'm going to do is prime my lids with my E.L.F. Lid Lock Eyeshadow Primer. So my mirror is over here, if you see me looking over here, that's what I'm doing. So I'm just gonna put this all over the lids. And I'm going to use my E.L.F. Flawless Concealer Brush to just blend out that primer. So the first thing we're going to get into is this LA Colors 12 color eyeshadow palette, and it looks like this is in the shade, it's called Trendy, so it's the LA Colors Trendy palette. And I picked this one out because it has really nice just like transition colors, colors I can throw in the crease, because I picked up, which if you've been around on Dollar Tree YouTube, you already know that the LA Colors loose pigment eyeshadows are amazing. And I picked up one of those, but I wanted to get some other colors for like neutral transition shades before I put on the loose pigment shadow. So let's crack this thing open, and it looks like, oh, it's got a little piece of tape here. Really, let me get that off really quick. They really packaged this thing up good. Okay, so it's the nude. It says nude on it, but it also says trendy on the packaging, so I'm not sure why it says that. But here is what it looks like. So some really nice shades with like a nice emerald green color thrown in there, some shimmers and some mattes. It also came with one of these guys, which I probably won't use. To be honest, I don't really like these that much. But first, let's go ahead and I'm gonna buff this color, I think, in my crease, and I'm going to use my Colourpop E2 brush to do that. So let's go ahead and try this out. See if we can get any pigment off of this. So maybe a little tiny bit. I'm being pretty aggressive dipping my brush into the palette. And it seems to be picking up a little bit of color. You can obviously tell which eye has nothing and which eye has some depth in the crease. So it's not terrible. It's blending out pretty well, but you do have to build it up quite a bit. But you know, for $1, I'm probably gonna be saying that a lot. For $1, it's not bad. But I mean, you can already tell I've been dipping in there pretty aggressively. So I'm just gonna keep building up the crease. Okay, so like I said, it did take a lot of building up. You did have to be pretty aggressive dipping your brush into the product, but I mean, it is a really nice transition color, so I'm digging it so far. I'm gonna deepen this up a little bit, and I'm not even gonna lie, some of these shades look pretty similar, but I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, and I'm gonna use my E.L.F. crease brush to buff that in my crease, but just a little bit lower. And I'm gonna concentrate the product in my crease and on my outer corner as well. Okay, so that's a nice shade. It seems to be picking up the product pretty well. So these shadows aren't like super splotchy or anything, which is good. The primer could have helped with that, but they're not really patchy or anything. They go on pretty smoothly. They are powdery. There's a lot of kickback in the pan, but it's nothing crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna go back with my Colourpop brush and just take more of that first shade to kind of buff out the edges of the crease really quick. Just want to make sure I'm looking somewhat even. So this is what we're looking like so far. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm gonna deepen up the outer corner a little bit. I'm gonna use this E.L.F. brush that I always use for my outer corner. It doesn't have a name. And I'm gonna go in with this darkest brown right here. And I'm just gonna kind of stamp that into my outer corner. I'm gonna try to be gentle with it because I don't want my crease and stuff to be too dark. But I definitely want to have a nice contrast for the shade that I'm gonna throw down on for the shimmer. Okay, so now it's time for the fun part, and I'm so excited about this because, like I said, if you guys have ever watched the Dollar Tree side of YouTube before, then you know about this, but this is the LA Colors loose eyeshadow with intense shimmer, and I really wanted to get a gold shade, but I decided to go with something a little bit different, and I got the purple color, which is in the shade Grape Jelly. So that's what that looks like right there. I'm really excited to use this. So it does come with, let's see if I can untwist this. Oh, okay, it doesn't twist. It does come with a little brush, but I mean, you can see that's pretty janky. So I'm not gonna use that. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the shimmer and I'm just gonna pour it into the lid. And it's kind of hard to get out because all they have in there, I don't even know if you can see, but there's just a little tiny hole at the bottom for that brush. So I kind of have to go a little crazy dumping it in there. Okay, and I'm gonna take my flat shader brush from Ulta, and I am going to dip my brush in there, and I'm going to spray with some setting spray, and this is the setting spray I'm gonna use later in the video. It's just Milani Make It Last, and I'm going to put this on the lid. Okay, so that's interesting because this is definitely not, I mean, the videos I've watched of these loose pigment shimmers before are way more impressive than this. I mean, this is not really that shimmery at all. It's kind of chunky. There's a significant amount of fallout. Interesting. I was really excited about this because everybody makes it sound like these are so good, and I'm just not getting that vibe. Okay, well that's disappointing. I have never really seen anybody use the purple shade. The only shades I've really seen, I know there's like a light goldish shade called Honeysuckle I've seen people use. That's supposedly really good. I don't know if I believe it now. I mean, that's like not even shimmery at all. Sad. Well, we're gonna try to make it work. I mean, I do have like a nice smoky thing going on right now, I guess, but this is definitely disappointing for sure. I was like, of everything that I had in today's video, I was most excited about this loose shimmer eyeshadow. So that sucks. I definitely wouldn't write off these loose pigment shadows as a whole. I mean, if you search like Dollar Tree makeup on YouTube, plenty of people have used the other shades, and so you might find a shade that works for you. I mean, that's the whole reason I wanted to try it in the first place, but the purple, definitely a no from me. It's a no from me, dog. Okay, so here's what the eyes are looking like. You can't even really tell. I mean, my lighting is not very good. I am clearly not a big YouTuber. I don't have studio lights or even like a white ring light. I just have like a yellow like desk light behind my camera, and I mean, you can't even really tell that it's purple on the camera. I mean, it looks pretty. It doesn't look bad by any means. Like, it's not splotchy. I'm very impressed with the LA Colors palette. It really did like blend it out nicely. But what I'm gonna do is, so this is the highlighter I'm gonna use later in the video. This is from the Color Workshop. And this is the Magic Glamour highlighter. And I don't know if this has a shade name or not. It just says highlighter. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna try to like maybe put this on the center of my lid and see if that can help take this look to the next level, maybe. And I tried to find the LA Colors highlighter because everybody raves about those too, but they did not have any at my Dollar Tree. So this is what we're working with. And I'm just gonna take the other side of that Ulta flat shader brush, and I'm gonna use that to put this on the center of my lid. I guess we'll see. In the pan, it doesn't even look like that shimmery at all, but I guess we will see. Yeah, I mean, that's like a highlighting powder, maybe. Like, it's not like a highlighter at all by any means. Bummer. Okay, well, let's just move on to the face. So I did not get any primers from the Dollar Tree, but I am gonna still use drugstore. I have a significant amount of fallout on my face, but that's okay. So first I'm gonna go in with my Hard Candy Hydrating Primer. This is an exact dupe for the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip Primer. And it looks green and everything, just like that one. So I'm gonna rub this in. And then next, so I have combo skin, so I have to do, well, what works best is doing a combination of primers. I'm gonna take my E.L.F. Matte Putty Primer, and I'm just gonna concentrate this on my T-zone. I'm almost out of this one. I have a fresh one in the bottom of one of my drawers, but I was too lazy to get it out. Alrighty. So for, my headband is coming off, just ignore that. So for foundation today, we are going to be using the Sassy Chic Moisturizing Foundation. And I'm kind of nervous about this, but I was like, if I'm gonna try anything from the Dollar Tree, I feel like foundation needs to be a part of it, because foundation can get pretty pricey at the drugstore, and you know, not everybody wants to spend $10 on a foundation. And this, so they only had, this is the shade medium 1. I don't really know if this is gonna match me or not. They did not have very many options. So when it comes out, it's very thick, and the bottle says to apply with your fingers, but I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna use my E.L.F. Total Face Sponge, and I'm just gonna take that and start. Okay, so I mean, it might be a touch dark, but it's not anything crazy. I mean, right off the bat, it definitely has coverage, so that's good. I mean, because I feel like normally at the drugstore, or I'm sorry, at the Dollar Tree, the best you can get is like BB creams, and this is definitely not a BB cream. I mean, it's giving me some pretty good medium coverage, I'd say. I mean, it is definitely very dewy. It feels nice on the skin. Doesn't have much of a smell. I'm gonna get a little bit more. Every time it comes out, it kind of scares me because I'm like, oh, that's a lot, but the consistency is just so thick. This might be my favorite thing I've used so far. This is like pretty nice. If you have oily skin, I'm just gonna bring my headband back. I'm just gonna take it off actually for the rest of the video. Why not? If you have oily skin, I would just stay away from this because, I mean, it's already not, it's like really not even drying down at all. It's pretty much staying this shiny consistency that of when I like first applied it. I have a little bit left on my hand, so I'm just gonna take that and kind of dot it all over my face and build this up a little bit maybe. See if it builds up at all. Interesting. I'm impressed. It definitely has coverage, which is good. I mean, it's not full coverage, but it has a nice medium buildable coverage. Buildable-ish. I mean, I don't really know how much that one dot that I did, like the extra dot that I did at the end, actually did anything, but it's very dewy. So I'm gonna do a wear test with this foundation as well. And I guess we'll see how long it lasts, how good it does. Next I'm gonna do concealer, and I'm so sorry guys, this is not a drugstore concealer. It's just all my other concealers are way too light for me right now. So I'm gonna be using my Too Faced Born This Way. Yeah, it's just, if I had other shades in my drugstore, I would totally use it because I love my E.L.F. Hydrating Camo Concealer, the CoverGirl True Blend. What is it called? I don't have it, but my little sister has it, and I mean, you guys know, it's all over YouTube. Everybody loves it. It's a dupe for Shape Tape, but it's slightly more hydrating. Those are amazing drugstore concealers. I would recommend those for sure. And like I said, if I had more shades, or if I had darker shades in those, I would 100% be using that, but I just don't, and I didn't want to use a drugstore concealer that was like my winter shade and have this video be a fail. So, I mean, I really wanted to make all of these dollar store products work the best that I could. So yeah, I mean, I know it's kind of redundant to use a $27, well, however much this is, $24 concealer in a Dollar Tree video, but I really just did not have any other concealer that matched me right now. So feel free to fast forward during this part. I put way more on this side of my face. Okay, just to kind of even this out, I'm gonna add a little bit more on the left side of my face because I accidentally put way too much on the right side. It happens. There we go. I mean, I'm gonna take my E.L.F. brush to kind of blend out the inner corners. The eyeshadow looks nice. It looks nice and smoky. I'm just disappointed at the lack of shimmer. I mean, I really wanted like a bright, shimmery, highlighted lid, but it is what it is. I'm really glad I almost didn't put down the E.L.F. matte putty primer. I almost just used one primer, but now I'm glad I did because with how hydrating this foundation is, it might have been melting off my face by the end of the day. All right, so I am going to set my face, and I'm going to be using this LA Colors finishing powder. It says it's new up there in the corner, and this is just the shade Light. So I'm going to set my whole face with this. I did bring out my E.L.F. Halo Glow powder to do my under eyes, but you know, let's just go with it, and let's just do this pressed powder. So, you know, at the dollar store, the shade range is like kind of sad, but here is what that looks like. And I'm going to take my Colourpop F2 brush, and I'm just gonna get a bunch of that powder on my brush. Make sure my creases are buffed out here. I do have quite a bit of fine lines under my eyes, and I don't want to set those. Okay, so you can see it does even provide a little bit of coverage, which is nice. It seems like it's a pretty good color for me. It's not really that brightening, but it definitely like softened my under eyes for sure, which is awesome. So This would be a great powder to like just toss in your purse to use as touch-ups, to use for touch-ups throughout the day. And I'm gonna take my big Colourpop F1 brush to set the rest of my face. This is a nice powder, actually. I'm impressed. Yeah, did you see how it took that shine down a little bit? So maybe that will help with oil control throughout the day. All right, the skin, I'm really impressed with the skin products so far. Well, the highlighter remains to be seen, but next we're gonna do bronzer, and I did not get a bronzer from the Dollar Tree, so I'm gonna be using my Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade 02 Sunkissed. And I'm going to take that on my E.L.F pointed powder brush, and I'm just gonna buff that right under the cheekbones. And on my forehead as well. Alrighty, now I'm gonna do blush. I did not get a blush from the Dollar Tree either. I'm gonna be using my Colourpop blush sticks, and this is in the shade Hooked. Man, with this light, I really look like I have a mustache when I go like this. Sorry, I probably should like wax that or something, but oh well. I'm just gonna take that on my E.L.F angled blush brush and stamp that into my cheeks and kind of buff it out. All right, I really love this blush because it's a great like neutral, like muted pinky brown color. So it goes really well with like smoky eye looks. I'm gonna go back in with the LA Colors powder. I'm gonna try to take some of that on my sponge and clean up my bronzer a little bit. Okay, that might have helped. I really like this powder. This powder's pretty good. Now let's do the highlighter. I don't think it's gonna be anything to write home about. It certainly was not good on my eyelids, but let's just give it another shot. So I'm gonna be using my E.L.F Featherlight highlight brush, and I will say this has got probably tons of other highlighters built up on there. So it might even look like it's good, but okay. I mean, that looks good, but to be honest, that might just be leftover. I should have cleaned this brush before. All my other brushes do pretty good at spot cleaning, but this one, not so much. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that this is not the actual highlighter I'm dipping my brush into, but that it is leftover highlighters from products I have used with this brush before. Because, I mean, obviously that looks nothing like what I put on my eye. So I feel like that's not really a true testament to that highlighter, but oh well, at least it looks good with the excess whatever I had on my brush before. Next, let's go back into the LA Colors eyeshadow palette and finish up these lower lashes. Oops, I just tried to open it from the wrong side. Because these things are kind of hard to open when you have long nails like I do. I don't want to like break a nail opening this. There we go. Okay. And I'm going to take that E.L.F brush that I used to stamp in my outer corner. I'm gonna take that, this palette is really powdery, and I'm gonna mix the two crease shades and just smoke that out on my lower lash line. That side looks so much more like, I don't know how that happens to me. I'm just gonna be completely honest, because that happens to me a lot. Like, I don't know how that side gets so much more snatched looking. That's so bizarre. Okay. I just would really like both of my eyes to look the same. I'm gonna try to fix this. Let me see what I can do here. That actually might have helped a little bit. All right, you know what? Let's just call it a day. Okay, Next, we can go ahead and do lashes. So I got this Wet n Wild, what is this called? Enhance and Define mascara, or Megawear mascara. And this is in the shade Very Black. So let's rip her open and see what we've got here. And I am going to, oops, I forgot my eyelash curler. Let me go grab that really quick. So I'm gonna curl my lashes and use my Essence primer just to give this mascara a fair shot. Okay, so I really love the packaging of this. The blue is so cute. And here is what the wand looks like. So it's a very bristly wand. I typically like the plastic bristles on a mascara, but that's okay. Try to do this so you guys can see what I'm doing. So it's definitely not clumpy or anything, which is good. It doesn't really seem like a whole lot of product is coming off of the brush. But honestly, I'd rather like have to build it up than have it, you know, be a complete mess. Okay, I like it. I mean, is it gonna replace my other mascaras? Probably not, but I mean, it's nice. It's definitely, I mean, it's $1. Like, isn't that crazy how you can get so many different things, like makeup products that actually work and are good for $1? I mean, it's wild to me. Okay. I'm not mad about it. I mean, it looks good. I'm gonna do another coat really quick. This eyeshadow turned out pretty smoky. I'm about to go to work, so I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but. Okay, it doesn't really seem like a second coat of this mascara is really doing a whole lot, but I just always do 2 coats of mascara, so it's not a big deal. Okay, last but not least, let's go ahead and do the lips. So I saw this lipstick from the brand Remy Rose, and this is in the shade Sarah. I just loved, like, this packaging is so cute, and so I was like, okay, I have to get this. The packaging really does seem really nice, and the lipstick is like so cute. So let's get her out of there. So here's what the lipstick looks like, and you can't really see, but the cap says Remy Rose on it, and it just looks like a nice nude color. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line my lips, where did that go? With the NYX Suede Matte Lip Liner, and this is in the shade Dainty Days. I'm just going to line my lips with that really quick. All right, now let's pop on this Remy Rose and see what she's all about. So it feels like it's a very hydrating lipstick. It definitely does not dry down matte, but yeah, let's go ahead and seal this all up, and I'm gonna use my Milani Make It Last. All right, you guys, so this is what the makeup is looking like right now. Ignore my bed in the back, I know it's not made. The skin is looking really nice. The lip color is really nice. It doesn't necessarily match with the eye look I have going on. It's more of like a peachy nude, and then my eye looks kind of cool toned, but that's okay. I'm gonna be wearing a mask anyway, so it's probably gonna come off. But yeah, so this is what it's looking like right now, and we're gonna do a little bit of a wear test, and I'll probably check back in with you guys later this evening to show you how the makeup is wearing, and I will see you guys in a little bit. Hey y'all, so I'm doing this wear test, like finishing up the wear test in my car outside the nail salon.
because as soon as I get home, I am taking this off. Like, it looks so rough. I mean, all things considered, all the face products, or not all the face products, the foundation was $1, the eyeshadow palettes were $1, the lipstick was $1. So, it looked pretty good when I put it on this morning, but the wearability and the longevity of how long the products last is just not there. Which, you know, you can't get your hopes up too much about things that, again, are $1. But I mean, you can see the foundation. I don't even know what that is. Oh, I think that's for my mask. And again, speaking of masks, I've been wearing a mask pretty much all day. Where I work, it's required. And then I just was getting my nails done and had to wear a mask in there as well. So, but my L'Oreal Infallible Fresh Wear foundation that I normally wear, which is like a $10, $11 foundation, does much, much, much better than this. So yeah, I mean, it looks pretty rough. The eye makeup has started to become a little patchy, started to rub off a little bit. Now I will say I'm pretty impressed with the mascara. I didn't really get much smudging like in my outer corners that I do frequently experience. So if I had to give this a makeup look an overall rating, I would probably give it 3 stars, maybe like 2.5 stars, probably more like 3. I mean, let's see, I put this makeup on about 8 o'clock this morning and it's now 7:38, so I've had this on for about 13 hours, almost 12 hours. Sorry, mental math is hard. So 12 hours is a long time to wear makeup anyways, and it's not like it's completely off my face. Like it's still on there a little bit, but it's almost like my concealer like didn't want to stick to my face because of the foundation, which is interesting. But anyways, regardless, I would probably give these Dollar Tree products about 2.5, maybe 3 stars. They did perform well, I feel like, in the video for the most part. The longevity of the products is not the best, but that's okay. If you are looking for stuff on a budget, beauty on a budget, this is a great way to go. I know not everybody even has $5 or $10 to spend on a drugstore foundation. So the dollar store really does have a lot of hidden gems. I'm definitely going to go back and try to get more of those loose pigments from LA Colors to see if any of those are better than the purple one that I got. But yeah, overall, I thought this was a really fun kind of experiment with Dollar Tree makeup. I've never used any makeup from Dollar Tree before this video, so I definitely was pleasantly surprised, especially with the complexion products. I felt like the foundation was pretty good. Obviously, I'm an oily mess right now, but for most of the day, it was pretty good. I had to touch up one time before this, which was around lunchtime, and then, you know, now I look like this. But again, $1, like, you can't really ask for more. So yeah, I'm gonna stop ranting now and I'm gonna go home and take this makeup off. But if you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. You guys have no idea how much I appreciate you and your support. If you have not subscribed yet, please go ahead and do that. Give this video a like, share with your friends, and leave some comments down below about like things that you want to see in the future. I would love to actually give you guys content that you want to see. So yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I can't wait to see you in my next one. Bye.